What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. As the title of this video says, yes, I bought an abandoned car. So I kind of want to call it a barn find, but I also kind of want to call it like a abandoned car. You can call it whatever one you want. I bought this car. It was left, it hasn't ran since 2017. Let me say that right now. However, it was hard to pass up, and it's definitely a project for us. However, I do want to give a huge shout out to both Riker and Will for being the fantastic tow service that they were yesterday. They came, they brought like an enclosed trailer and everything. We went out, drove 4 hours across Washington State to go get this thing. I'm pumped. I'm excited for this thing. So you guys are going to see snippets from video that I'm shooting today because the first half of this video is corrupted in my SD card. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We're going to make do with what we got. So you'll see snippets from today and the video I shot yesterday going to pick this thing up. So I'm just going to kind of like jump to that when we're going to pick up the car, and then we'll talk about it some more. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this thing. So we got down here about 20 minutes ago or so, went through, started grabbing everything for the car, got all the paperwork signed, got payment and everything like that done. I am hyped for this. It's definitely a project. It is not something that's going to be a quick turnkey car, but it's worth the price. We are finally snagging an Evo. You guys know I've been trying to grab one of these for years at this point. And we finally found one. Now, like I said, this is definitely a project. This thing hasn't ran since, I don't know, I think it was 2017 was the last time this car was registered, titled, and ran. So there's a couple things with this. Yeah, so as you guys can see, there's nothing up here right now. There's no engine, no trans in it, headlights, bumper, radiator, everything's completely stripped from this car. However, it pretty much comes with everything we need to get it going again. So we have a 4G63 right here ready for the car. It does need to be timed. I am going to tear down this motor before we go to throw it back in the car, just to make sure everything in there is Gucci, see what we're working with, see what we have, and then we'll reassemble that one. It comes with a turbo exhaust manifold and some like hood exit dump tubes. I think we'll end up doing a full exhaust on this car just to keep it a little bit tamed. I'm gonna say this now that I don't plan on going crazy with the car, but that would be a total lie. I'm probably gonna go crazy with the car, but I'd still like to retain a full actual exhaust on it. On top of that, we have rear calipers, front calipers, because right now there is no brakes on this car. We've got headlight, charge piping, blow off valve, some sensors and whatnot in here, a new half radiator hoses, full gasket and seal kit for the engine. The hood is right here. It's like it has like a carbon fiber logo on that. When we get back to the house, I'll show you guys that one. Comes with a new alternator, the intercooler core, coolant, everything like that, an extra intake manifold, radiator fans. It literally comes with almost everything we need to get this car going again, but there's more. So obviously missing the wing too, so we're gonna have to get a wing for this because I am running the wing on this. We're also missing the interior. Well, not the whole interior. We're just missing seats in here, so we need front and rear seats. We have to figure out what fuel pump that is back there because I have absolutely no idea, but it's pretty much a clean shell. It's a clean shell ready to go at this point, and we get like the nice OEM Anki wheels on it. Brand new competition clutch. I believe it's competition. I'm pretty like 95% sure on that one. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we're finally snagging an Evo. So like I said, this is not going to be like an overnight turnkey project thing. This is definitely going to be something that takes a little bit of time. I want to go through the engine bay, correct everything in here, get like things repainted, get it nice and orderly. Now up in here, there's a little bit of a wiring mess in here that we're gonna have to sort out, but after playing with the 17 STI, I'm really not worried about that at all. If I can wire in a standalone ECU and all that stuff, this should be pretty much cake for us for the most part. So we're gonna be doing some things in here to kind of revert it back. Some new, like maybe repaint a couple things in here. Like I said, this car has not ran in quite some time. It also comes with like a ton of documentation in here on the car as well. So a lot of information, a lot of parts are going with this thing. Let's get it pushed down to the daylight. But better to have more than not enough. Do I get the knife?
Anything in there.
The knife is included?
Yeah, it's passed down from probably a couple others now.
It's the poor forgotten Evo series.
It's not nice like catch cans.
comes to turbo stuff. We like turbo stuff.
Yeah, you guys are off.
Okay. At least there's a motor, man. It's a little lighter.
Good. Tight and steer.
Good. One easier than me.
All right. So all loaded up in the trailer. We're about to strap it down, jet out of here, start heading back down. Be a big project ahead, but this thing will be fun. So we have the car all loaded up in the trailer in the back, and we are headed back. I think we've been driving for about 2.5 hours now. It's about a 4-hour trip, like each way to go get this thing. But the car, like everything's back there. The hood, the car, the bumper, the engine, the trans, everything else is kind of tossed into the car. I was going through this like fat stack of paperwork right here because this has like paperwork going back to 2007 on info on the car from like English Racing, a whole bunch of other shops. So I'll show you guys that when we get back down to the house after we get everything unloaded. We're gonna have to play a little bit of like car roulette with all the cars that we have because the Evo is going to go in the garage for a couple days and then it's going to get moved to a storage unit, but the engine and the transmission are going to be kept at the house. Then when like after we get done, because we're going to rebuild that engine, we're going to do like, we're going to build the motor in that thing because right now from what the previous, not the previous owner, but the previous owner told me is that the engine has about 60,000 miles on it with a built head, but I'd rather just tear everything down, refresh everything, make sure it's all good before we throw that thing in there. I'd also like to do some work to the actual body of the car. The brakes are in a bag and they're not actually on the car. I'll give you guys like the full story on that one when we get back down to the house, but continue on with this road trip. Fun times, fun times. We went from like desert to scenic view in like 10 minutes. It's very fall-esque. So now that we're all caught back up, let's talk about this thing. I'll give you guys a little more detail and walk around. It's so weird having an STI and an Evo in the garage together. I've wanted an Evo 8 for so long. Well, I wanted an Evo 9, but you guys know the prices of Evo 8s and 9s are stupid ridiculous right now. So trying to find one is insanely hard, which is why I got this one. The price was right. It came with a lot of the things that we already need. I've already ordered some parts for this thing just to get it going. So one of the main things for us, this car, right, this Evo right here is going to be put in a storage unit for a little bit. I'm going to keep the engine and the transmission here with me, but the shell itself is going to go into a storage unit, so that way I just have a little more room to work around the garage. When the time comes that we're ready to put that engine and transmission back in the car, we'll bring the car back here. There's a couple things that I need to get done on this first. So right now, as I mentioned before, the brake calipers are in bags. They are not actually on the car, so the car has no brakes. Last night I ordered front and rear rotors for the Evo, so that way when we're pushing it around, we can actually stop the car and we're not solely relying on that e-brake. I need to rebuild the e-brake as well because yesterday when we were trying to push the car out of the shop to get it up into the trailer, the e-brake was seized, so we had to rock the car back and forth to be able to break it free. I don't know if it damaged the e-brake or not, but we need to replace those components anyways, so I need to get those ordered as well. I also ordered a wing for it because I want a wing for the, I probably shouldn't have bought the wing right now because I have money to spend on other things, but I wanted the wing. I wanted a wing. It was like $400 on eBay. It needs to be repainted, needs to be re-clear coated, but whatever. So let me kind of give you guys the walk around on this thing. Oh my God, dude, it looks so gross and dirty, but I'm so happy with it. So I am going to be getting a new front bumper for this thing. I don't quite know what the prior owner did. So the like quick backstory on this is somebody owned this car in like 2016, 2017. The car ran, it had a giant Borg Warner on it, drag radials, everything like that. I want to say the car was making around 600 to 700 wheel horsepower. I'm guessing it was a drag car. Now we're gonna bring it back to life as a street car. So I'm gonna get an Evo 9 front bumper. I don't like these gigantic carbon fiber pieces on there. I want this to be like an OEM plus build. I don't want to go crazy with it like I did this. Realistically, I want to keep this car around like 500 to 600 wheel horsepower, make it a street car and enjoy it like that. I think I can just buy this grill insert here because somebody cut a hole in it for a hood dump and I don't want a hood dump on this car. I want to keep it somewhat tamed. I want to keep it a nice, fun, tamed, good looking street car. The body itself on this thing is immaculate. There's like no dents in the body. There are a couple scratches on the paint, but we can work those out. Underneath the car there is like no rust, no rust at all. It's insane. For this car being a 2004, no rust. I did say I ordered the wing for that. It does come with the nicer like blacked out JDM style taillights. I do want to get a JDM rear bumper for this thing as well. All those stickers need to come off, and this wiper, we're gonna get rid of that. And I need to sort through everything in here and kind of organize it in the garage. So I'm gonna do that later. I'm not really gonna worry about it right now. The car did come with a, it's like a no-name 20G. This turbo feels like ass, so I'm not gonna run this thing, so I do need to buy a turbo for this car. I may use this exhaust manifold. I'm definitely not using these dump tubes because like I said, I want a full exhaust on this car. I just don't want it to be like stupid loud. We do have the transmission and transfer case and everything like that. The transmission does have a built 3rd and 4th gear in here. They're like carbon synchros or something like that. I have the receipts from the transmission shop that did all the work on it, so I verified that. This 4G63 right here, so from what I could gather between receipts and talking to the old owner, is it has a built head. I don't know what's all done to the head. We are going to disassemble this thing. It did come with like a nice little engine stand, but the short block itself is just a stock 4G63 short block, about 60,000 miles on this thing. We'll probably tear this thing down. We'll send it to a machine shop, we'll build it, so that way we have like a nice reliable car to make a lot of power on. Like 4Gs are already pretty reliable as they are. I mean, every engine has its downsides. I did find out the car does have ID 2000s on it, a big fuel rail, 4-bar map sensor, and then this competition clutch is actually a twin disc. So it's a brand new competition twin disc clutch on here, so that saves us some money. So that way we're not having to buy another clutch on here. This is going to be a learning experience for me because I don't know a lot about 4G engines. But yeah, hey, we're gonna learn. It can't be any worse than like an EG or an EJ. Now up in here inside of the car, we do have an ETS front mount intercooler core. I am gonna replace that. Here's like a fat stack, and I mean a fat stack of receipts. So this car lived a pretty interesting life. Going into the back seat, we have our headlights for it right back there. We've got a Grimspeed box full of hardware. We have a brand new timing belt kit back there. We have a new gasket and seal kit for that engine. So the main things for the interior that I need to get are front for passenger and driver seats. I do want a new steering wheel because that NRG one looks like straight ass and is coming off. That thing is awful. And then I also need back seats like I just showed you guys. The hood is kind of just like temporarily set on here, but just to show you guys in there, if it'll focus on it, which it won't, of course. Hang on, let me take the hood off. So up here in the engine bay, there's no axles, there's literally nothing in here. So I am going to go through, clean all of this up thoroughly. I do want to repaint the engine bay black. These coilovers need to come off. We need to get new coils. These are like old TNs with the EDFC controllers on them. I hate TN coilovers. I've never been a fan of them. They ride like poop. These things are so dated that we're probably gonna get like a set of BC Racing or something, just something to make it like a good street car. So with that being said, we now have a 2004 Evo 8 project to get going on. Oh, it has a boost controller, an AEM 3-port, which we'll probably replace anyways. Oh, but just to show you guys, yeah, there's like no calipers or brake rotors up here, so at least brake rotors are on the way. I have the calipers in a bag back here. I need to repowder coat them before I throw them back on the car. Totally open to color suggestions if you guys have any of them. They're just like old and worn and gross looking. Like these things have seen some better days, so we'll rebuild these. We'll repowder coat them. We'll make them look nice. I want to make this, I just want to bring this Evo back to life. Like this poor abandoned Evo has lived a hard life and we're going to bring it back. Like I said, I don't know a lot about Evos, but it can't be any worse than that. Like, can't be any worse than the Subaru. So I am so excited for this. Matt was looking at it yesterday. He was like, this thing looks a lot like a Dodge Neon. It's the Mitsubishi Evolution Dodge Neon variant. What is that back there? It's missing a little cover, so yeah, I got some parts to order and some stuff to do to this thing, but I'm so excited for this. You guys know, like I was looking for an Evo before I bought the 05 STI. If you guys have been on the channel, if you guys have been around the channel that long, before I got Karma, when I sold the BRZ, the next car I was trying to get was an Evo, and I just couldn't get any of them. So I am so excited to actually have this one on the channel. It's an 04 Evo 8. It's got about 90,000 miles on it. It's clean title. Lived an interesting life from what I can see in receipts. It looks like it's been built and torn down a couple times. It's been to English Racing. Has a ton of receipts from like STM Tuned and a whole bunch of other places as well. So we're gonna bring her back to life and give her a good, proper street car. life, because that's what I want to do with this thing. It's funny too, because like a week ago I was joking around on like, I think it was Instagram or something like that. I posted up a picture of the STI and the Golf R. I was like, all I need now is an Evo, and I can unite the all-wheel drive car community, because now we have an STI, an Evo 8, and the Golf R, which are apparently all rivals to one another. So we're just bringing the love. We're bringing all the rivals together, and we're making a big, happy rival hate family. Call it whatever you want. I don't know. But anyways, that's really all I got for you guys on this one. I am so excited to be bringing this car to the channel. I have a lot of research to do. I have a lot of digging to do. The main thing I'm going to start with on this Evo is tearing apart that 4G63 and getting that thing. We're going to build that thing first before it even goes back in the car. We're going to clean up the engine bay. There's so much. There's so much. I'm pumped though. But anyways, I'm rambling now. I'm so excited. That's really all I got for you guys on this one. If you guys are excited to see the Evo come to the channel in conjunction with the Flat 6 STI. And did I ever like show you guys a quick update on this? I don't know if I did. The Flat 6, I'm like waiting on a couple more sensors to come in. They've been coming in slowly. I got the other seat mount for it. Got the JDM oil cap. That was just like a dress up piece that I wanted. Kyle dropped off the big front mount blow off guy valve pipe thing, or whatever you want to call it. The Golf R, I have some parts coming for the Golf R also. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you're excited for the Evo, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to follow along with the journey on the Evo rebuild, the Flat 6 STI rebuild, or the Golf R build, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I don't know where I'm going with that, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.